Yeah, my name is Stella Rani Robert. I came to Australia in 1975, so I've been here for 46 years. My husband and I came out with our two kids, 3 and 4, and we were teaching here in Australia all this time. And we came here for a better future for the children. Not that Singapore hasn't got much to offer, but at that time my husband just felt, the future is better in Australia. It was hard. It was a real culture shock, 46 years ago. Mm-hmm. And when we came, there's hardly any Asians, Indians or anyone, and our lifestyle was different because in Singapore you don't need to knock on your neighbor's door. You just walk in. Everyone knows everyone. You don't make an appointment if you want to visit a friend. You just drive, just visit. Whereas here all the doors were locked. Mm-hmm. And I remember in 75 we stayed in Elizabeth for a year because we had a friend there, and I used to go knocking on the doors, take my 2 little kids with me, hoping to find someone to talk to. My husband used to come home and find me in tears, and I said, why the hell did you bring me here, But gradually after 3.5 months, there was a knock on the door, and this blonde girl, she dropped in. She said, I found this on the roadside, I wonder whether it belonged to you. And I just burst into tears and I said, please come in for a cup of coffee. She said, what are you crying about? I said, I've been here 3.5 months and I've got no one to talk to. She said, what are you complaining about? I've lived here for 9 years. I'm from Wallaroo, and you're the first person who's invited me for coffee. Been teaching in quite a few different schools. I taught in the Catholic system all throughout, except for in Elizabeth, and I made a lot of friends and started giving cooking classes to the kids in my class because they had no idea of Asian food. Mm-hmm. So I started this, I'm talking about 30 years ago, started doing simple dishes like fried rice, but then because coming from Singapore, it's a multicultural society there. Mm-hmm. So we learned Chinese, Malay. Whenever it was Christmas, all our other religious friends will come to our house. Okay. And then when it was Chinese New Year, we used to go to their house and so on. My mom was from India and she only cooked Indian food. Mm-hmm. But I have never been to India. I was born in Singapore, you see. I did domestic science in Singapore in school. Mm-hmm. So I always had a love of cooking. Oh, okay. And then my husband came from Penang, Malaysia. But basically I taught myself how to cook, all the other ethnic groups. And so I still enjoy cooking. But every 2 years we used to go back to Singapore. We promised the old folks that we would come back and visit them every 2 years. So work and save and then go back to Singapore. And then I'll buy all spices, whatever I needed to come back here. Slowly you've had shops opening up. There was no Indian spice shop at that time. And there's no Chinese spice shop. Now, too many. Too many Indian shops. Everywhere. Around my place, I can go to 4 different Indian shops. That's a fish curry. Yeah. These are typically home everyday meals. These two, a potato and a fish curry. This potato, we normally used to make it to eat with Indian breads. This is fish curry, and this is a fish curry I learned from my mum. Mm-hmm. It's got eggplant. The base of that fish curry is tamarind. Mm-hmm. It's a souring agent, and coconut milk. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that gives it the flavor. Whereas this one is just potatoes. You boil your potatoes, then you more or less chop it up and roughly mash it up. Mm-hmm. Then you put curry leaves, chili, turmeric, and peas and lemon juice. Oh. That's it, yeah. This one is normally cooked to accompany a festive dish which we call biryani. And biryani is rice cooked with either chicken or meat or fish. So I normally make that as an accompaniment to go with biryani because biryani is very rich. Mm-hmm. So we have that, and we also have a raita. Raita is yogurt, yes, which you cut out with grated, similar to the Greek one, but the Greek one they squeeze out all the water from the cucumber, whereas with the Indian one it's chop up Spanish onion, cucumber, chili, and you mix it up with the yogurt. So these are all different spices. So when these whole spices are what you temper with. So let's say when I'm going to start the potato, so I'll heat up a little bit of oil. I'll put a bit of mustard seeds, cumin seeds, fennel seeds into the hot oil. It has to be really hot. Then I put some curry leaves, and it has to splutter. That it brings out the flavor of all the dry spices. Then you put in some onions, fry the onions, and a bit of garlic and ginger. We use a lot of garlic and ginger in our cooking, and a lot of onions. So this is cardamom, this mustard seed, these are cloves, and this is fenugreek. This is what we use in seafood only. Yeah, and that's cumin. Cumin is a smaller seed, and fennel is a little bit larger. Dried chilies, which we use again when we temper, we put dried chilies in a hot oil. And this one is used in a lot of Asian cooking. Vietnamese, Chinese, Indian, is star anise. Just one is quite strong. So sometimes certain dishes you only need to break off a petal and use it, otherwise it's too overpowering. And of course we all know what this is, peppercorns there. To start off with, to temper it,
yes,
fennel and mustard seeds. And then I put some fresh turmeric, turmeric powder, and I didn't put any chili powder for that. I put chili powder in this and in that. And I use, because I cook a lot, I buy, that is the cumin powder.
Ah, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
cumin powder. And then I have, we use quite a bit of cumin powder, we also use coriander powder. Yeah. So this is a fish curry powder. Now fish curry powder would have turmeric, this, coriander powder, cumin powder, fennel powder. And this is eggplant chutney. Cut up the eggplant, have a bit of oil. I use olive oil. Put the eggplants in, and once it starts to brown a little bit, then I have a kettle of boiling water ready. I pour a little bit just to cover the eggplant and put the lid on and simmer it so the eggplants are cooked. Once that's cooked, you take it off. Then a bit of oil, again a bit of mustard seeds, garlic, just garlic, and onions and curry leaf. You fry that again until it's, and then you add a bit of turmeric powder, chili powder, and then you add a bit of tamarind. Yeah, tamarind is a souring agent. So you just add a little bit, and then you add some chili powder and you add sugar. Yeah, and once that's all right and you're happy with it, then you dip in your eggplant that you have already cooked, and then just put the lid on and just cook it until it absorbs all the flavors and it gives it.